Hello there again. Hope you are all well. This short video is orientated towards spinning and anyone interested in starting up at this modality or style of fishing. I will not venture on about how to do this and that. Just wanted to share with you what is recommended to take with you and what I have found to be helpful and how I like to go prepared. This is what I usually look like, I know. Definitely not worthy of a catwalk or fashion show, but the fish cannot see how I am dressed, and it is indifferent to them. But there is a method behind the madness. Okay, let me walk you through the essentials. Rod, reel, and lures. I will bypass these as there is a video which goes into all those details, and this video is more intended for the complementary and beneficial accessories rather than the fighting tackle. You can find this video on the channel, as well as an insight on the Seabass's behaviors. Okay, here we go. First to address is the environment protection, the waders, waterproofers or rubber boots on steroids. The ones I use are from Daiwa, a very standard entry-level set, but be prepared. Nearly all waders eventually develop leaks. I have repaired these various times, and the weld from the boots to the legs eventually lets water seep in. Then I have my backpack, where I keep line, more lures separated into metal, surface vinyl, etc., all accessible if needed. I also keep my head torch there until in use, my phone, car keys, and anything else needed. One thing good to take always is a simple whistle, a small object that makes a massive sound. Hope it is never needed, but better to have and not need than to need and not have. The next item on the list is the lure box. I have a Spanish lures one which I am very pleased with. I have altered it a little, which I will explain what and why a little later on. I can hold quite a decent amount of lures there, as well as line, clips, pliers and fishing knife. And to document and register those memorable moments, I have the chest-mounted GoPro. And not to forget the little tripod light for those night sessions and assisting in night photography. And last, but definitely not least, the rod and reel. The benefit of this type of fishing is you are fishing within seconds of finding that spot, and no need for smelly, slimy baits. Just go and throw. And for those like myself whom enjoy to register the moment and photo or film their catch, here is my makeshift mobile studio. Don't forget to assemble your studio beforehand and have everything ready. This prevents unnecessary delays or tardiness when snapping that photo and releasing, if that is the case. Try keep the fish's suffering and stress to a minimal. And here are some of the features of my lure box. An addition I made was the rod holder. All it took was a small length of PVC piping and pipe clamps which I bolted onto the box. Comes in very handy, as I will show in a while. Then the fishing knife. I use mostly to icky jimmy or dispatch and bleed the fish. Bled fish taste better, and taking a fish out of its misery and suffering should be obligatory. I always try to keep suffering and stress to a minimum. Another use for the knife is descaling the fish and cleaning. Nothing better than to do this in salt water, and the discarded parts of the fish return to and are recycled back into the food chain again. Pliers. These are very advisable to have. They can assist holding a fish which can present some dangers, like spikes or poisonous weavers, for example, which I have indeed had the unpleasant misfortunes of experiencing, and I do not recommend at all. Also, they are essential for removing the lures when deeper down in the fish's mouth. Remember to have them attached via stretchy lanyard, so you don't end up losing them. This goes for the knife as well. The fish holder. I made a stainless steel fish holder similar to those we use in spearfishing, and indeed this one was made from an old spear. I just cut it down to size, drilled a hole in to attach the cord, and once again placed a ring bolt to the box for tying to. All you do is pass the spike through the fish's gills and mouth and tie off. Simplicity. And this is the benefit of that rod holder. A third hand, simply priceless and a must. Makes lure changing so easy. And as promised, here is the inside of the tackle or lure box. One side has this handy compartment for clips. The other lures. I have placed styrofoam in the bottom of some of the compartments to raise the smaller lures for easy extraction. Really happy with this setup indeed. While spinning, I usually spin it round to my back out of the way. The pliers. The fish hook or holder. And the knife. Cleaning time after a session. Nothing easier. There are drain holes in the bottom, therefore just open the lids and run the hose or tap in to get rid of the corrosive salt water, then let dry in the sun. And there it is. That is my setup. And now all one needs to do is trick that fish in going for your lure. Easier said than done. At least for some. Allow me to introduce you to this guy, who makes it all look so easy. Digz or Diggs, a very competent angler also from the Algarve. He has caught a fish or two till date. Very entertaining.
É difícil tirá-lo aqui, pá. Yes! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Not bad. I hope he left one that size for me.